A price is not static and should not be. Your cost to acquire a customer are changing, your competition might change their pricing as well, and many other factors can have an impact on your profit. Also, some of the biggest online stores change their price multiple times a day. So, are you changing the price of your product often enough? Hello everyone, it's Martin, and for this video I invited Burc. He's the e-commerce pricing guy. He's been helping companies with their pricing strategy for more than 10 years now. It was a very interesting conversation, and I hope you would enjoy it, so let's go.
Like, admit it or not, and like it or not, the key decision criteria for any kind of purchase decision is honestly, like, for more than 50% of cases, I mean, this is actually an actual number that's coming out of various research, studies, surveys. So people actually name pricing of the deal, pricing of the product as their main purchase criteria. Shoppers, when they are asked, they literally explain that this is their main, primary factor. So I think increased competition is one aspect of things. So you cannot really charge premium fees for your unique product services any longer because your actually buyers might find an alternative in an easy way. Shoppers are also gaining more and more technological skills in deal hunting. Shoppers are now more aware of platforms like Google Shopping, for example. They instead Google for the product or service, and then they actually end up with multiple offers, and then they are now able to benchmark prices. Merchants are now more inclined towards, benchmarking their prices and setting their prices more competitively. I think this is a major change. Now, what I also see is that pricing optimization is no longer a luxurious effort or an advanced effort, enterprise effort, but even small, medium-sized businesses can also adopt a certain pricing, let's say, prudeness. So they can also, at least start from somewhere in pricing optimization instead of just waiting to be a large company, etc. So those two trends, like first one, like I said, more increased competition, and second one, more accessible technologies when it comes to pricing optimization, have been two main trends that I have been seeing. The main strategies can be, boiled down to three strategies, such as cost-based pricing, consumer-based pricing, and competition-based pricing. Starting with cost-based, mainly takes your internal cost, like cost of goods sold, into account, and then actually aims at adding a profit margin on top of those costs, so you end up with your, pricing. So this is the, I would say, most simplistic approach. The disadvantage of cost-based pricing is simply ignoring your competition. And consumer-based, it's just about understanding what your customer's willingness to pay is. And accordingly, you aim at higher profit margins or lower profit margins. It's kind of obviously advantages because tailor-made prices for your shoppers. But also it requires a certain amount of, data to be gathered on your consumer base. And when we come to competition-based, it actually takes your competitor prices into center. It helps you to offer the most competitive prices across your assortment at all times. So the advantage, needless to say, is actually to maximize your conversion rates, maximize your sales rates. But also when it comes to a disadvantage, it might create a race to the bottom. So if you always try to, reprice your products based on competition, and if you ignore, for example, your consumer insights, cost, etc., you might at some point end up with loss-making prices. My advice to merchants is sort of finding their own balance of mix across these different strategies, making sure that you still apply a cost-based strategy while you're also, managing your competition-based approach. So it's never just picking one strategy, but more of a mixing all those different aspects. Better allocating your marketing spend towards your, more competitively priced, more attractive offers. So instead of, for example, dedicating the same cost per click budgets, impression budgets for all your items, we recommend our merchants to prioritize their better, competitively priced items instead of, let's say, not attractive offers. So by doing that, our merchants actually see more spending for items that are competitively priced, where they have better conversion rates. I believe, technology would get involved in that at every, single step. So technology definitely will help merchants to automate certain bits of, pricing operations. If you don't have technology in your business, in your pricing flow, you would need to do all these different aspects in a manual way. So imagine, benchmarking, competition prices for 1,000 products across 5 different competitors on a daily basis in a manual way. So that's undoable. So this is one thing. And when the merchants will be sourced with more fresh data, etc., obviously they will have agility to actually change their prices more often than before. Changing their prices on weekly, monthly basis in list pricing manner, they can now react faster to their competitors' prices. So again, like a secondary effect of technology, pricing technology, automated price collection technology might be also dynamic pricing optimization. So even small and medium-sized businesses might start adopting this dynamic pricing optimization. Main technology starts to become more accessible. So I believe the playing field will be further leveled in the coming years when it comes to like pricing. So it's sort of like optimizing your pricing in a frequent manner towards your business goal. So instead of just setting your prices, let's say in December, and then actually readjusting them on next December next year, it's more like listening to all sorts of data across the market, including your competition, including your internal sales velocity. So by digesting all that information, engines like dynamic pricing engines of various sorts, these engines can recommend you the best price point possible for an item, depending on your goal. If you would optimize for, let's say, increased profit margins, those dynamic pricing engines like ours, pricing, will then recommend you that sweet spot for pricing at that level. I think multiple price changes per day is sort of becoming a business norm. So if any of those listeners are actually not even changing their prices on a daily basis, I would recommend them to rethink their pricing strategies, because like their prices are probably not going to be as fresh, as competitive as they desire. I really would encourage merchants of all sizes, like across all industries, but at least start caring about your pricing strategy as much as you do for your marketing strategy nowadays. Because like in an inflationary environment that we are going through, like across the world, pricing even matters more than before. So I think it became not important, but like almost vital in today's environment.